Hey guys, Prince of Macedon here, all the way up in Branson, Missouri. We're at the Branson Celebrity Car Museum, and we're going to check out some of these movie cars. Now, some of the cars here are just replicas of movie cars, but a lot of the cars here are the actual real deal car from the movie. And we're going to check out some of those cars, and I'm going to meet up with the curator of this car museum, and he's going to show me some of these cars up close and give me some of his stories about some of these cars. Here it is, guys, the freaking car from I Am Legend. This is the one that Will Smith actually drove. Let me do a quick walk around for you guys. But this car is beautiful. Look at this, guys. We're gonna go inside in just a second, but I want to go all the way around. So here is the back of the car. See all that? And then I'm gonna pop in. Can I just open it? Or okay. I'm kind of afraid now. I don't want to like.
Oh no, you're good.
Gotcha. So let's go inside here. Oh my gosh. So we might have like Will Smith's like hair.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Did they change anything in here?
You know, it's kind of hard to tell. It looks like it's got a Shelby center there. I don't know if this is the standard gauges or if that's Shelby. I'm not positive.
Yeah. Is there anything in the glove compartment?
I don't think so. There was some parking passes, and I have them in the file.
Oh, do you really?
There was also the original window sticker. We made a copy of the window sticker and put it in there, but the original window sticker that was in it in the movie is in the file.
That's when he breaks it out of the dealership?
Yeah.
And the dog would have been in here too.
Yeah. Well, the dog would be here, and then they said in some of the scenes they had a dog handler in the back seat, kind of hidden. So.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Get his hand sticking out here.
And what's interesting about this car is it has 3,000 miles on it, a little over.
Yeah.
And that was the distance that it took, because when they finished at Galpin Ford, they drove it across the country to get it to on set.
That's
you know
crazy.
What I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I feel like there must have been an easier way to do that.
I mean, maybe. I mean, I have no clue. But the Galpin is just kind of like, they're the guys that are like, they jump on it and get things done. They have a lot of those weird cars. I think it's kind of like their Skunk Works dealer kind of deal, you know?
Yeah, I gotcha. But yeah, this was made for Will Smith to drive.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. This is beautiful.
I mean, it's a beautiful car and it runs great. It's brand new. I mean,
yeah. Well, if they ever make a part 2, maybe they'll contact you.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That would be freaking.
We'd love to have it in there.
Hey guys, I'm here with Scott, the curator of the Branson Celebrity Car Museum, and we are standing right next to the Shelby, the Mustang used in the 2007 I Am Legend movie. And first, let me ask you a question. It says 2006 Mustang GT was cloned into a Shelby by Picture Cars. Can you explain that whole thing?
Absolutely. It's a big, long story, but basically what happened was Shelby had worked out a deal, Ford and Shelby had worked out a deal to give 6 cars, the brand new Shelbys, the GT500s that they were building for the movie, and it was going to be kind of like a product placement, a promotional. The deal was that they were to be crushed at the end of making the movie. So they got all set up. They were there in New York City. They were filming, and then they realized that while Will Smith can drive a manual, it was really difficult for him to drive a manual, fire an AR-15, manage the dog that was in the car, and do all the driving and acting and all the things that were required of him, because there was so much going on in those scenes. So they're like, oh crap, now what do we do? So what they did is they contacted Galpin Ford out in Los Angeles, and Shelby sent them all of the wheels, the body kits, and everything. And they took a regular automatic GT and made it into the hero car that he would drive throughout the rest of the movie. Will Smith drove this car exclusively in the movie. And when they were done, of course, the 6 cars that were donated by Ford were sent to be crushed, and this one belonged to the executive producer Michael had, Ross, because they had to buy it for the film, because it wasn't one of the donated ones. Now, there were lots of different things with it. In the first place, I think they cut about 20 minutes worth of driving footage out of the film because the director was like, it's looking like a Ford commercial.
That would have been okay with me.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I would have loved that, because if you look in some of the behind the scenes, you see this car like smashing through windows and driving through a mall, but you never see that in the film. And so, in the film you see it driving down the streets and chasing deer. So
exactly. I noticed the wheels say SVT on it. How much of this car is SVT?
Well, let's see. I think the hood, the body kit, the wheels, the brakes, the seats. There may be other things inside the car that are actually Shelby SVT stuff, but it is an actual Mustang GT.
So is this the only Shelby from I Am Legend used in the movie?
Well, it is and it isn't. This is the hero car that Will Smith actually drove. The 6 stunt cars were all destroyed. There was one other car. It was the vehicle coordinator. It was his personal car. It was brought after they had they were done. They were like, oh gosh, we need some B-roll. So they needed shots of the car driving around, and the vehicle coordinator just happened to own a red GT 500 personally. So he brought it out to the set, and his caveat was, I'm the only one driving the car. So he came back, he did the driving and stuff. And so there is another car that was used in I Am Legend, but according to the vehicle coordinator, this is the only one that Will Smith was actually in.
Jesse, you can't race your dad's car. Guys, this is like one of the coolest cars from Fast and Furious, and it's barely used. I mean, it's used a lot, but it's not like the Dodge Charger of Dom. But this is very iconic, though. Like, everyone who watches the first movie, they always wonder about Jesse's Jetta. But here it is, guys. This is the stunt car. You can see the bullet holes on the side. And actually, let me show you this really quick. 1995 Volkswagen Jetta, screen using the original Fast and Furious film by Chad Lindbergh, who played fan favorite Jesse. And that was Vin Diesel's car when he's wiping away the blood from his shirt after the little mishap with Jesse here. So let's go around. Oh, this is beautiful. Look at that. It's like, how would you replicate that? Here's all the sponsors right here, guys. Jesse. This is such a cool, very iconic car, and he's not even Vin Diesel, but he's awesome though. People love this guy. And I can pop inside. Oh, I touched Jesse's car, guys. It's actually Jesse's dad's car, right? No, actually, it's Johnny Tran's now, because Johnny Tran owns the pink slips. Hold on. Let me put my backpack down. Oh man, this is neat. But yeah, Jesse was very confident in his setup. And honestly, I think he might have actually won the race. But just before the race, Brian kind of gets in his head, hey, you can't race Johnny Tran. Johnny Tran probably has like $100,000 in his Honda. This is beautiful though. Look at that. Oh, and it's even signed by Jesse. Chad. All right, let's pop out. We're gonna find the fun facts from the expert himself. This car, would you consider it a fan favorite?
I would say this is, if it's not a fan favorite, it's definitely one of my favorite. This is, any of the cars from the first movie are amazing, but this one stands out a little more than most, because Jesse was he was kind of the lifeblood on the first movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He kind of was the glue that stuck it all together. He was the mastermind, always coming up with things and so forth. And so it was really sad to see him go so early in the series.
Oh yeah.
But this was the car. This is the death car with the bullet holes. from the very end. This is also a stunt car used throughout the movie. As you can see, it's got the no calipers brake disc there. That there have been a lot of memes and funny jokes made of. But at one time I had 3 Jettas. I had a replica Jetta, I had the hero Jetta that belonged to Frankie Muniz, and I had this stunt Jetta. And when I had all 3, my thoughts were, well, I only need one. And I wound up selling one of the cars to Chrome Cars over in Germany. And they were like, we don't care which one we get. The hero car, the stunt car, we don't care.
They just wanted one.
They just wanted one for their collection. And I preferred to get rid of the stunt car, even though it was signed by Paul Walker. It was really cool because, number one, it was an automatic.
Yeah.
And number 2, it had this big elaborate roll cage in it, and you couldn't fit anybody in the back seat. And one of the reasons that I really kind of liked this car was there is a scene in the movie where you see the Jetta pull up to Johnny Tran's warehouse, and they're all piling in, and you see Paul Walker pop out of the back seat. Well, he didn't pop out of the back of the car with the big roll cage in it.
Yeah.
So it just kind of like, this is the one that I like. This is the only manual that was used, and at Race Wars you can see him pop the clutch and spin the tire with, of course, no brake caliper. And I just love it. Also, Chad Lindbergh is a good friend, and he's signed the car for me since I've had it, and it's just a piece of movie history.
That's very nice. Would you personally race this car at Race Wars?
I'm a big Volkswagen fan because there's one thing about Volkswagens is that you put the key in and they start.
Yeah.
I've never been left on the side of the road in a Volkswagen, but I don't know that I would race it against Johnny Tran or S2000. No, I don't think I would race it, but I would show it for sure.
Gotcha. Any other fun things you want to talk about this car to all the fans of Jesse?
I just love driving it. All of the old cars are great, but a lot of times the actors, the studios and the vehicle coordinators and the actors tend to go towards automatic cars so that they can concentrate on their driving and acting.
Yeah.
And I like this because it's an authentic movie car that's got a 5-speed manual in it, and you just don't see a whole lot of manual movie cars. This car was also, after the movie came out, it was on display at Universal Studios, and they had the Universal Studios stickers put on both sides there. So it was something that you could walk around, and it was like, it wasn't in the back lot, but it was like by the soda fountain place.
Oh,
you know
yeah, I have seen it.
Yeah.
I heard that's why they tinted the windows, because it's out in the sun.
Absolutely. That way it doesn't destroy the car.
Yeah. Bam, you heard it here, guys. If you want to see it, this is at Branson Celebrity Car Museum.
It sure is, and it will stay here because I'm not planning on ever getting rid of it.
Guys, Transformers 1, which I think is the best live-action Transformers movie. We have 2 screen-used iconic cars. We have the 77 Camaro, and then over here we have the Saline, and this is freaking Barricade right here. A lot of people agree that Barricade might be the coolest-looking car out of all of the live-action movies. Very sinister, and I know a lot of people made their own replicas, but this one is an actually screen-used Barricade. So this was actually used in the warehouse scene when it's crashing through. And then you see Shia LaBeouf with his bicycle. And the curator pointed this out to me. There is a very little indentation right here, and that's where the bike hit Shia LaBeouf. And another curious thing to note, right down here, that is where the camera mount went, right up here. And then let's go around first before we go inside. Gosh, this thing is so gorgeous, guys. Yeah, this is like a 2005 Saline. So it looks like a Mustang, but these parts have been upgraded by Saline to make it really freaking awesome. And this might be hard to see, but the guy just pointed it out to me. Let me see if I can turn my flash on. Hold on. All right, here you go. I turn my flash on, and you can see there is part of the crate, some of the wood, when it was in the warehouse, and it's stuck inside the wheel right there. That is freaking cool. Sorry, I had to break for filming to turn the light back off. But now, let's go inside. Freaking Barricade, guys. This is so iconic. You guys ready for this? Let's pop in here, guys. So, look at the interior. So, obviously, Barricade was self-driving. That was long before Tesla had their self-driving features. But this is the inside. Whoa. This is a freaking cool interior here. And what else we got here? Just want to look at all the little gadgets inside. This is so freaking cool. I'm inside Barricade, guys. That's how much of a fan I am. And then right next to Barricade, we do have Bumblebee. This is also a screen-used Bumblebee. Look at this. Yeah, this is when Megaforce says, hey, if you could transform into any kind of car, why is it this piece of junk? So he transforms into a modern Camaro. He should have stayed like this, because the 77 Camaro looks way better than the modern Camaro. But look at the inside, guys. Oh, yeah. This is also a sweet-looking car, but I do think Barricade takes it for the most cool-looking car in the live-action Transformers movies. Okay, so I guess the first question that comes to mind is, how did you get both of these screen-used cars from Transformers?
You know, it took years of going after them and so forth. It's, you know, it takes a lot of luck, a lot of money, and a lot of patience to get them. Because there was, for a while, that I had a replica Bumblebee, and now I have the original.
Yeah, the real thing now.
Exactly. But my favorite car out of the entire collection, always has been, always will be, is Barricade. It holds a really special place in my heart. I'm a really big fan of Steve Saleen and everything that he's done. And Steve Saleen, for the movie Transformers, for the 2007 live-action movie, he agreed to make Barricade, and it was a Saleen. It's one of the only Saleens in the Saleen registry that has the same number, that 643 there. There's 3 of them. So yeah. There's 3 of those, because, you know, the numbers are normally different.
Yeah.
Because they're sequential, you know. And so it's the only Saleen that there's actually, you know, 3 of the same car.
Whoa.
And you know, to punish and enslave and so forth. But initially, this was slated to be the hero car for the movie. And then what happened is, as the movie was developing and Michael Bay and General Motors' relationship was developing, it became apparent that General Motors was going to be the good guy cars, the Autobots, whereas the other brands of cars would be the
Decepticons?
Decepticons, yeah, exactly. So what happened is, very interesting, is that he came back to Steve Saleen, and Saleen actually built the Camaros that they used in the first. Because think about it, this was in 2006 and 2007.
Yeah.
But the Camaro didn't come out till 2010.
Yeah.
All they had was a prototype. So he built them out of GTOs. And so Steve Saleen not only built the Bumblebees, but also built Barricade. And this was a very special car to both Steve Saleen and to Michael Bay. And I was lucky enough to get them. There were 3 made for the first movie, and they didn't appear in the second movie, but in the third movie,
should have.
In the third movie, the robot appears, but not the car, because they didn't have the car. I did. It's a really interesting car. This is camera car number 2. It's the Barricade number 2. It was used as the camera car. All of the close-up scenes with Shia LaBeouf were with this car. It's got a lot of stuff under the hood. It's got a camera mount on the side. It's got the dent in the door where the door swung open and hit the bicycle, causing him to flip over. It's got where they smash through the crates when they're doing the chase scene through the warehouse district. The balsa wood is stuffed between the wheel and the tire, and still holding pressure. And so we've left that too. And of course, the to punish and enslave. I mean, this car was everything that was that was cool about Celine, and
Freaking awesome.
we just love it.
Can we expect this car to be here for a while in the Branson Museum?
It'll be here forever. It'll be here forever. There, like I said, there are three of them. At one point, I've owned all three of them.
Oh my God!
And this one was my favorite, and so this is the one I decided to put all the way in the back corner of the museum, so that I wasn't tempted to sell it or take it out and pull people over. And I also have the number 3 car, which was the hideaway car. That was the one when the car's driving down the road, you don't see the driver because he's wrapped in the seat. He's wearing a black suit, and he's wrapped. It's got a wraparound seat. And the number 1 car was the car that was filmed with Air Force One. It has the premium dash, and Frenzy would sit in the passenger seat. So that's
awesome.
kind of breaks it down for the Barricades. This right here is a Bumblebee. Some people call it Beater Bee, because it looks like the beater car,
Disrespect.
Yeah, disrespect of the Bumblebee, but it's got lots of custom features itself. Intentionally distressed. All of this distress was like painted on. It's like they made it look like this, and
Still looks cool to me.
It's a beautiful car, and we love having it in our collection.
Hey guys, how many of you have seen the 2004 Taxi movie starring Queen Latifah and Jimmy Fallon? Well, I've seen it. It's kind of a silly movie, but the car that they made for it was awesome. It is it's a 1999 Ford Crown Victoria that transforms into this. And a little fun fact, it's actually a remake of, I think it was a French movie called Taxi, and that movie also did the same thing. It transformed. But let's do a little walk around here. So this is considered the practical car. Like, this one does not transform, but this is what the final transformation looks like when it's ready to go. Like from the 2004 movie Taxi. Oh yeah, look at that. Driven by Queen Latifah and Jimmy Fallon. So I love all the extra mods that they made to this body. I think it looks really cool, honestly. And look at the back. Look at that freaking spoiler on the back. That is insane. We got this giant exhaust in the very back as well. And this is where Jimmy Fallon would have sat. He would have came in here. And also the other people driving or riding in the back. One guy's like, hey, I'll give you $100 if you can get me to this destination on time. So, no eating or drinking in this car. And then Queen Latifah would have been in the front. And oh, look at that. There's some artwork here. Well, let's go up there and look at it so we can get a little bit closer. Ooh, there's like paddle shifters on this. Oh, this is neat, being inside this. And here's the airfare, or the cab fare. Hopefully they don't have to pay that much. But here's some art. This is by Eddie Paul, very famous guy who did the movie cars for Fast and Furious 1 and 2, and also did the cars from XXX. And that's just to name a few. He's done a lot of legendary, iconic movie cars. What can you tell us about this as like some fun facts?
Well, this is actually one of the crown jewels of our collection. It's a very interesting car. It's like this wide body, crazy version of the Crown Vic, and it's almost like it almost takes like a hint from the Marauder. Is that what I'm talking about? Yeah. The Mercury Marauder that came out, and the Marauder. It was the same kind of. They had one similar to this, and so I think what happened is the car designer Eddie Paul, who also designed, he built the cars for Fast and Furious 1, Fast and Furious 2. He built the cars from XXX. Like, there were just so many things. He even built the mechanical shark from Shark Week on Discovery Channel.
No way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's random.
I mean, he was just a complete genius. But he built this car for the movie Taxi, and this is like the finished version with everything popped out, because they had like a little CGI thing where everything kind of popped up, and then they had some practical deals where like tires swapped and so forth, and just like this whole unrealistic thing. But one of the most interesting things is actually inside, Eddie Paul actually not only signed the dash, but doodled on the dash as well. And, I think that's something that's kind of cool about it. And then this is it's a low mileage Crown Vic, which you don't see many of, and it's in really good condition, and it's like all NASCAR'd out,
Bella, where the hell have you been, Loca? Guys, this is Jacob Black's car, the Volkswagen Rabbit from Twilight, New Moon. There's some fun facts here. Taylor Lautner. I am not going to take my shirt off for you guys, but let's walk this way first. You know what? Might be a little here. Let me walk this way. There you go. Yeah, you don't really see this car drive around like in a stunt scene, but it's Jacob Black. If you're a fan of Twilight, yeah, this is Jacob Black's car. There's the rims. Let's look inside. And then let's pop in on the passenger side. We can be Bella, guys. Here we go. Let's pop in here. Let's see if it opens. That one's kind of stuck. It's fine. There's the back seat. Oh, look at this. This one's coming down. But yeah, this is cool. So the Collins, or Edward, he drives the Volvos, and then Jacob Black gets the Rabbit. So I think everybody has their own distinctive car that matches their personality. But me as an undercover Twilight fan, I find this really awesome, guys. Very fascinating. What would you tell Twilight fans about this car?
Well, I grew up with Volkswagen, so this is kind of like my thing. If my kid drives a Volkswagen, I drive Volkswagens. I like the Volkswagen. It's not just a Rabbit, but it's a Rabbit GTI, which is the high performance version of that. Yeah. So this car actually came from Vancouver, Canada. British Columbia, Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. But that's where they filmed lots of different shows because things are cheaper there, different union rules and so forth and so on. So there's a lot of film action going on up there. A lot of people don't realize when you watch the X-Files, it's in Vancouver. When you watch Supernatural, it's in Vancouver. When you watch just about any of the shows you watch nowadays, the television shows, a lot of them are filmed up in Vancouver. And this is one of them, and the vehicle coordinator for Supernatural actually did this car for Twilight, and he was also a picture car guy on Twilight. So
that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Do you remember when you acquired it? Was it near the release of Twilight, or was it way after?
It was after it quite a bit. He had it in his inventory because, as a matter of fact, this car has appeared in Supernatural. Just background. You know what I mean?
No way.
Because what happens is these picture car guys, when they get done with a show, then it goes on to the next show, and so they either determine, we'll never use something because it's so specialized, or it's kind of like nonchalant, so they'll use it in other stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so this was used in Supernatural, it was probably used in X-Files, it was probably used in lots of different other television shows that you just don't know about.
I love it. If you ever want to get rid of it, here I am.
Absolutely. This is actually a fan favorite. There are a lot of beautiful cars in here, and a lot of women come in and they're like, yeah, I want a picture with his car. So
with that 12 pack, sorry, the 12 cylinders.
No, they really love this car because they really love him.
Yeah, it's definitely iconic.
Jacob's a fan favorite for sure.
For sure. All right, well, any more chance of getting more Twilight cars in the future?
I had a shot at getting the pickup truck at one point, and I just wasn't quick enough, and some other lucky fan got it.
Oh, shoot.
But you never know. You never know. I'm always open to whatever. I'm always looking for new things. We swap out about 30 to 50 cars each and every year here in the museum, so there's always something new to see.
Hey guys, you see this Dodge Charger behind me? This is no ordinary Dodge Charger. This was the actual Dodge Charger driven by Sam Winchester in the later seasons of Supernatural. Let me Let me show you around here. Look at this thing. Yeah, this thing's just kind of sitting out here. It's a little dirty, actually. Oh, this one's not open. But let me do a little walk around here. Oh, yeah. You know what? I should do a little... It's protected now. But let me see if any of these doors are open. Oh, darn. You can kind of see inside. Oh, look at that. It's a Supernatural. It's hard to see. Shoot. Well, it says Supernatural. It says, this 2006 Dodge Charger SRT-8 was driven by Jared Padalecki's character, Sam Winchester. During season 6 of the hit show Supernatural, Sam can be seen driving it when Dean has retired and has started trying to raise a family. Okay, yeah. That's the backstory to it. That is freaking cool, and it's just sitting here. All right, so we have a very unique set of vehicles here. I love 80s car movies, and this is from Megaforce. What can you tell us about these?
This is some of the most iconic 80s vehicles that you can get. These vehicles are some of my favorites. I've actually had this collection for a while, and there was a brief time when I'd sold it to someone else, and
bought it back.
And I bought it back. There was a collector in Michigan who wound up buying these two pieces from me way back in the day, probably 20 years ago, and I think it was like 5 or 6 years ago. I was at a Comic-Con and I ran into
Barry Bostwick?
Barry Bostwick. And we're sitting there talking, and he's like, it's really interesting that you're into movie cars and stuff like that. And he goes, but have you ever seen any of the Megaforce cars?
Oh.
And I was like, as a matter of fact, I used to own one of the cars and one of the bikes. And I was like, you know what? And I asked him if he was going to be at other Comic-Cons, and he was like, yeah. And we were basically doing the same circuit, and I was like, give me a month or two, and I'm going to meet up with you, and I'm going to bring those. So what I did is I went and I bought them back, and I brought them to the Comic-Con, the Wizard World Comic-Con in Chicago. Yeah. And he met up with us there, and he was like, what? He goes, seriously, dude. He came to the booth, he checked it all out. He signed them both for me.
Way.
If you look, like he signed as Ace Hunter here. Yeah. And then even the good guys always win, even in the 80s, you know. And he signed them for me, and I just think that it's just the coolest thing, because it doesn't get a whole lot of love.
It doesn't.
But it's just like when you see the detail and the things that they did inside here. I mean, this thing's got a propane powered Gatling gun, that actually works, and it's got like a flamethrower, and it's got all of these really cool gadgets, things that go back and forth. These rockets, they actually fired them off with like Estes rockets and so forth. It was very interesting. And Hal Needham, like he did so many great films.
A legend,
a legend. But this film was running way over budget, and he actually, like, he had the stuntmen that were giving him some problems. There were some pay issues or something, and I heard that Hal was actually in one of these and rolled it over and had trouble getting out of it.
Oh crap!
Yeah, and when the stunt guys left, they rumor has it that they took all of the equipment off of these, because they were brand new bikes, and left the equipment in the desert, like left all the props in the desert, and then drove off with the motorcycles. So this is all original. This is all original props, but the motorcycle has been replaced underneath it, because they all took off with them.
Oh my god!
Yeah, all the stunt guys took off on the motorcycles, and so
it looks legit.
So like all of this, the flamethrowers and all of the props and stuff that are on it, they're all original screen used, but the motorcycle itself, the engine, the frame, and so forth, that has been redone.
What about this? Is this like a sandrail?
It is like a Sandero. Now, this is all original. Everything about this vehicle is original. I think it's been repainted at one time when they restored it. But other than that, all of the props and everything on here is original.
Check it out behind me, guys. Megaforce, most lethal weapons a science has built, or something like that. Anyways, Barry Bostwick was the star of this. He was Ace Hunter in the movie. So if you ever want to see a Barry Bostwick car movie, Megaforce is the one to see. So let's do a little walk around. First, we'll show you the motorcycle here. And as the curator was pointing out, like all these props were actually from the movie. But because they took off the motorcycles, they had to replace everything except for the props. This part right here, the base, was a new motorcycle. So that part's not original, but everything else attached to this were straight from the movie. Now let's get to the vehicle here. So yeah, it's basically a sandrail with lots of modifications, as you can see here. I want to point out the coolest thing right here. This was signed by Barry Bostwick here. He even put his name, Ace Hunter. And let's peek inside. Look how freaking claustrophobic it is in here. I don't think I'd want to drive in that thing, especially with the engine right there. That's so cool. And we can actually close this. And now it's heavily armored. It's ready for some action. But no, I want the world to see that this was signed by Ace Hunter himself. So let's come around over here. There's a lot of cool features. There was a laser turret back here, but apparently the props department had to remove that. But we got everything else. We got the rockets, and we got that freaking gun turret over there. Let's see if I can reach around the other way, because this thing actually does spin. Oh, here we go. Megaforce. Da 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 da. And apparently this little radar thing actually pivots as well. So this is freaking cool. For me, who was a fan of 80s movies, especially Hal Needham. Hal Needham is pretty iconic. He also worked on a lot of Burt Reynolds movies like Smokey and the Bandit. But yeah, this is cool seeing this. This is from the 80s, and I did watch this when I was a kid, and that was probably the last time I seen it. So I would love to rewatch this movie again. Hey guys, you ever see the Rob Zombie movie 31? It's right behind me. I'm actually a huge Rob Zombie fan. 31 isn't at the top of my list, but I freaking love Rob Zombie. I think House of a Thousand Corpses is more my speed, and Devil's Rejects. But this is really cool that they have this just sitting here. This is the camper from 31, and we are obviously going to get really close. In fact, we're gonna get so close we'll be inside this thing, and we have to come around in order to get in. Look at this. The show must go on. So there's gonna be some tall grass here I have to get to, but we're gonna make it. I'm glad I brought my freaking blue jeans. Oh my gosh, guys. Let's get some privacy. Let's close that. Okay. Oh, it's really hot in here, by the way. Oh, this is really cool. So again, yeah, the details are lost to me. I don't remember how much they showed of this car, of the interior in the movie. But let me show it to you anyways. And you can try to remember what you guys kind of remember. To the top of that. Let's go back to the front. So I already forgot who was driving this thing, but Sherry Moon Zombie was in this scene. Let's go show this. Oh my god, this is so cool. Look at that. Dang. That's really cool, guys. Really important to note, if you have a favorite car here, if you pay $10, you can sit in one of your cars and get a picture in it. So something to note for all the fans. I am really curious about that Starship Troopers outfit. I wonder if that's screen used or not, because that looks really sick. And I am actually a huge fan of that movie. Look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. Now, this is really cool and very unique. They have these two arcades, and they were from the Pixels movie. And apparently, these actually do boot up, and you can actually play the game. But yeah, you can see the scene that it was used in right here. You can see it right there. Bam! Pixels. That was definitely an interesting movie. Hey guys, remember that big freaking truck that the Hobbs drives in The Fate of the Furious, aka Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson? Here it is. And we're gonna record the engine startup. Yes. Oh, and by the way, we're gonna ride inside. There's another YouTuber here, by the way, but we're gonna go inside and ride this, guys. All right, he's gonna move it. Look underneath how it's moving like it's a helicopter. That's much power is underneath that. He's gonna drive it down a little bit, and we're gonna record him driving, and then we're gonna go inside it ourselves. Do you hear that? This is Special Agent Luke Hobbs, and we're about to ride inside that thing. God, I think it's freaking loud. Hey, do you mind if I play with the window?
Yeah, do your thing, man. They're a little sticky.
Oh, yeah. What? Just want to record some crowd reactions. And right behind me is the very iconic Dodge Ram, driven by Glenn Powell in the 2024 Twisters movie. But I'm not gonna hark on about this because I made a separate video dedicated just to this truck. That's how much I love this truck behind me. But I'm gonna have it in the background of this closing shot here. Yeah. First off, I want to thank Scott and his amazing team that works here, because they did such a great job of fixing these cars up if they weren't running anymore, and making them presentable, and just keeping this awesome Celebrity Car Museum operational. They did some really good work, and Scott definitely, because he took so much time out of his day making my video happen. He gave me some very exclusive shots of a lot of these vehicles that I personally wanted to see. And by the way, this collection of cars that you see here, it rotates frequently. The owner, he likes to change out the displays, and he also acquires new cars and gets rid of some cars. Some cars he's never going to get rid of. But yeah, I only showed you the cars that I wanted to look at personally. There were so many other cars on display here that I wanted to, give it the exclusive treatment. But due to time constraints, I couldn't possibly cover every car here, not in the depth that I wanted to do it. So that's why I'm here, and that's my new friend from YouTube. But yeah, that's why I'm here. I wanted to, check out some of these other vehicles. But yeah, there's so many other vehicles on display. And let me just show you some of the ones that I looked at. And they were so awesome. They were so awesome to look at. But yeah, at least you can see some of the cars that I passed by, and I just didn't have time to show it. But yeah, this Celebrity Car Museum, they have all kinds of cars and trucks, motorcycles, miscellaneous props on display for you guys to check out. Yeah, it's just a shame I just couldn't cover all these cars, but there's so many here, as you can see, so many other vehicles on display here. But yeah, I came all the way from Orlando, Florida, all the way up to Branson, Missouri, just to show this, just to show this car museum. Obviously, while I'm here, I'm going to do some other things, but this Celebrity Car Museum is specifically why I came here. I was in contact with Scott for like several months before I visited. I just wanted to make sure everything was okay, and what vehicles were still going to be here when I came. But yeah, this is totally worth it. If you're ever in Branson, Missouri, stop here. Chances are you're going to recognize some of these cars. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for checking out this video, and Scott, once again, for letting me check out these vehicles themselves. And I'll see you guys next time.